In the roaring 1920s, America was dry. Alcohol was banned, but crime was booming. While men fought over turf and whiskey, some women stepped out of the shadows. They ran speakeasies, smuggled liquor, and built criminal empires. These weren't just accomplices, they were leaders. Forgotten by history, their stories are shocking and bold. Tonight, we reveal the first women gangsters of Prohibition America. Some of these women came from nothing. They grew up in tough neighborhoods, where survival meant learning to break rules early. Poverty and struggle taught them cunning and resilience. Others came from families who had connections to crime or underground networks, learning the secrets of smuggling and negotiation at home. They started small, running tiny speakeasies, serving drinks, and keeping the law at bay. Their intelligence and ambition set them apart from everyone else. Soon, they were not just part of the game, they were changing it. They learned how to read people, spotting weakness and opportunity in everyone they met. They built secret networks of friends, allies, and informants. They understood that charm could be as powerful as a gun. Each night, they moved through streets dominated by men, unnoticed, underestimated, and therefore unstoppable. With every successful delivery or safe house managed, their confidence grew. Some even made daring moves to expand their influence across cities like Chicago, New York, and Detroit. They faced threats from rival gangs, law enforcement, and betrayal, yet they thrived. These women were fearless. Their ambition, intelligence, and charisma allowed them to turn small beginnings into criminal empires. They proved that in a world ruled by men, women could rise, dominate, and redefine the rules. And though history would later forget their names, at that moment, they were untouchable, unstoppable, and unforgettable. Their rise was silent, dangerous, and unstoppable, a testament to courage, brains, and sheer willpower. As their influence grew, these women began to control entire territories. They didn't just run small operations anymore. They organized networks of suppliers, enforcers, and bookkeepers. Every decision was critical. One mistake could ruin everything they had built. Rival gangs tried to intimidate them, but their intelligence and strategic thinking kept them ahead. Some carried weapons themselves, while others relied on loyal associates who would protect them at all costs. They learned to negotiate with law enforcement, bribing officials or manipulating them with charm and cunning. Their offices became centers of planning, maps pinned to walls, phone lines buzzing with coded messages. They studied their competition, predicting moves and setting traps, often outsmarting men who had more experience and resources. Every night brought danger, police raids, rival ambushes, and unpredictable betrayals. Yet they thrived in the chaos. These women weren't just surviving, they were innovating. They developed systems to track shipments, manage revenue, and protect secrets. Their leadership style was unconventional, blending fear, loyalty, and charisma to maintain control. They inspired loyalty in their crews, not through intimidation alone, but through vision and respect. Even other criminals began to acknowledge their power, whispering their names in awe and fear. The streets slowly began to change. Where men once ruled with brute force, women were now dictating terms. Their influence spread quietly but relentlessly. Being a gangster wasn't glamorous. Violence was everywhere. Police raids, ambushes, and betrayal were constant threats. Some women disguised themselves to move unnoticed. Others used clever tricks, like hidden compartments in cars or coded messages. They learned to read loyalty, manipulate enemies, and survive where men had failed. Their lives were a constant game of strategy. And every night, the line between danger and power grew thinner. Speakeasies became their playground. Hidden behind ordinary doors, women ran the bars, managed the staff, and kept the drinks flowing. Smuggling was dangerous. Men underestimated them, which was their advantage. They moved crates of whiskey at night, braving police raids and rival gangs. Their charm and wit allowed them to manipulate powerful figures. Some even negotiated deals with law enforcement. These women turned illegal alcohol into a business empire. And each night, they proved that courage and brains were more powerful than bullets. Some names became legendary, whispered in alleys and printed in newspapers. And Bonnie, Ma Barker, and others whose true identities remain debated. Stories of daring heists, outsmarting law enforcement, and dramatic escapes spread across cities. Every tale seemed larger than life, mixing fact and myth in ways that captivated the public. Yet behind the headlines, the truth was even more remarkable. These women were fearless, brilliant, and relentless. They planned with precision, anticipating every move of rivals and authorities alike. They inspired loyalty and fear in equal measure. Associates followed them not just because of the threat of punishment, but because of respect for their intelligence and audacity. Some women carried weapons, others relied on strategy, charm, and deception to maintain control. Their influence extended beyond individual neighborhoods. It shaped the operations of entire criminal networks. They understood timing, opportunity, and the psychology of those around them, always staying one step ahead. Despite sensationalized stories, many facts were deliberately hidden. They manipulated appearances, letting men take credit when it suited them. Their cleverness was a shield, keeping them alive in a violent world. Newspapers often exaggerated or misrepresented their actions, but the real women behind the myths were extraordinary. Today, the stories of these women are finally being told. They inspire movies, books, and documentaries about courage, cunning, and audacity. They defied society, dominated criminal networks, and showed that intelligence and strategy were just as powerful as brute force. Their rise was a statement, a declaration that women could lead, control, and thrive in a world built to ignore them. Though they were forgotten for decades, modern historians and filmmakers are uncovering the truth. Each tale reveals their brilliance, resilience, and daring. They navigated danger, betrayal, and violence with grace and precision. Their influence shaped not just the criminal world of the 1920s, but also the way society views women in power. They proved that leadership and courage have no gender. Even in fiction, characters inspired by them captivate audiences. They remain symbols of strength, audacity, and risk-taking. Their legacy is a lesson. Intelligence, strategy, and boldness can rewrite the rules. Today, we honor these first women gangsters whose lives were dangerous, daring, and unforgettable. They paved the way for women in leadership, in business, crime, and beyond. Though history often tried to erase them, their stories remain. And now, they are finally remembered,